Okay. Hi. I think I'm going live right now. This is my first video. Okay, yes, I am. Okay. Hi, my name's Allie. Um, this is the first time going live before, so hello. I'm going to pull up a Google Docs. So I kind of wrote everything down because this is the first time that I've done something like this. So I kind of wanted to have everything like put together and all that stuff. So I'm just going to read piece by piece. So please bear with me. My name's Allie. I have BPD. I grew up in a traumatic background, as you can see from my description down below. So I'm just going to get into that a little bit. Having BPD can make family dynamics really tricky, and setting boundaries isn't always easy. Sometimes other traumatized people in your family might blame you for your BPD and label you as too sensitive, when really you're just trying to set boundaries that help you live a healthier, happier version of yourself. That kind of response can have a serious impact on your mental health and the way you perceive yourself. Here's the thing: you are not the problem. You're just not around supportive people. Surround yourself with people who are honest, empathetic, and encourage your growth. Often, when family knows you have BPD, they might make you feel like you're the problem in relationships because your expectations and emotional processing needs are different. But that's not true. It's not healthy to let family or friends self diagnose you or use your diagnosis as a weapon during arguments or disagreements. Just like any other diagnosis, navigating BPT requires proper accommodations, self discovery, and support. You deserve relationships and spaces where your boundaries are respected and your mental health is prioritized. I want to share a personal example to make this real. I'm the leaseholder in my apartment, and both my sibling and I are looking for work. My sibling recently went through a tough divorce and wanted to go out one night, but she asked for my key. I told her I wasn't comfortable giving it to her without arranging a time to make a copy. Even though I said it was fine if she went out, just not with my key, she blamed me for not being able to go out. I overheard her and her friend complaining and later vented anonymously on Facebook, because sometimes you do that if you don't want to bother your friends. Because Lord knows that I vented a lot to my friends, and I love them. I appreciate them so much for that. But sometimes they don't need to hear it so often. So anonymously, I posted my frustration about the situation. And sometimes with BPD as well, it is nice to get an outer perspective, because oftentimes we can go into isolate mode and we can question ourselves because everybody around us, because of our diagnosis, is, disqualifying your opinions or your emotions. And yes, it is an emotional disorder. However, with proper care and being honest with yourself and allowing open, honest discussion with others, it's not necessarily an illness. It's just something that you go through day to day. And I'll get into what I compare it to, um, but I'll go on and continue. My sibling then took offense to that, saying I was out of control, shouldn't share my business online, and even used it to justify why another sister wasn't speaking to me. I had spent a lot of time being calm, focusing on team building, sharing our needs, and communicating openly. But because I have BPD, she used this scenario to paint me as the problem in the family. This kind of response is incredibly hurtful and, if unchecked, can make you feel misplaced and disconnected from family and loved ones. As I mentioned before, I spent the last 2 years handling things mostly solo, which gave me the time to get comfortable with who I am and become a better communicator. Don't let anyone target your diagnosis to prove themselves right in an argument. I'll have what I posted on Facebook linked in the description if you're curious to see how I handled the situation. I'd also love to hear from you. What would you have done? Living with BPD doesn't make you a bad person. I like to think of it like having the flu. You're sick in a way that you need more care and support. Surround yourself with people who are willing and able to help while you navigate it. So, right there, what I mean by that is that, Yes, it's a diagnosis. Yes, sometimes it can feel like an illness. But when you take care of it as if you're having the flu, you want to make doctor's appointments. You want to give yourself extra rest when you need to. You want to make sure you're having the proper water or vitamins or, the right type of foods. The flu isn't who you are, it's the side effects of what's going on with your mind and body. So I want you to remember that if you or someone you know struggles with BPD, that it's more like the flu and less like a all-compassing symptom. So with that, take care of your mind like you would your body. Go to therapy, keep up with checkups, consider medication if needed, and most importantly, love yourself through it all. Conflicts in family and life are normal, but boundaries matter. Protect your goals, passions, and opinions. Never let anyone bash you or blame you for your illness as a deficiency. Your mental and emotional space is sacred. Guard it, nurture it, and build the life you deserve. And with that, I will leave you. Have a good day. If I can also figure out, okay, there we go. All right, I'm ending the stream now. Bye.